Oh, hi. Okay. Anyway, I'm sorry, guys. Hi, everyone. Welcome to this live. And today, actually, I'm going to discuss about Middle East, like relocation from the Middle East to Europe. So, this is based on my personal experience. By the way, I've worked in the Middle East or in Kuwait for almost 8 years, and I relocated from Kuwait to Hungary. So currently I am in Hungary, and hmm things have changed. A lot of things have changed for sure. And I want to share my experience with you, all of you who are actually planning to move to Europe or start their life to Europe. So first is the experience, the whole process. Actually, it took me almost 2 years in the process. I've chosen different kind of agencies. Actually, there were 3 agencies already that I've applied because that's the only way from the Middle East that I know that time. That's the only way. Because in Europe, there are a lot of companies actually who can who can get you from the Middle East, or let's say you can apply directly, but that's also a very challenging situation, I could say, because the competition is totally different in the Middle East. So that's also one of the topic that I'm going to mention today, career development. So from the Middle East or in Kuwait specifically, so 2 years in the process, I applied through different agencies, and it was actually also different countries. And then suddenly there is this agency that I tried to trust. Oh my gosh. I tried to trust, and then they were able to actually helped me throughout all the process during my relocation from Kuwait to Hungary, which took me from end of May, and then I was able to leave Kuwait end of August. Oh, by the way, welcome to my 3 viewers right now. So after this live, you can actually also watch it again on now it's for. So if you have actually comments or you have questions about relocating from the Middle East to Europe, then you can please put your comments. um the process, of course. So the agency actually is the middleman in the whole process. The thing about agencies is that that's also one of the many reasons I don't want to recommend the specific agency, because many of them is just after the money. I could say they were just going to collect you a huge amount of money and then leave you alone. Like, especially if you are already in the country, they will just like buy like your adult do it yourself, something like that. So some agencies are not really helpful in that process. They will just collect, what the agency do actually is that they will collect all the papers from the company who is currently hiring, the contract, whatever papers that is needed as per the visa application. They will collect that from the company, and then what they will do, they will forward it to you. So they are just like middleman, which is actually, if they are not in the picture, it's really possible to have a direct hiring. So you will do it yourself. Let's say for in my case, when I was in Kuwait, I just received all the documents from them, printed it myself even because the embassy just needed a photocopy of the documents, and then the documents from my side, which is the bank statement, the residence ID, the current residence that I have in Kuwait, which supposed to be at least 6 months valid before the application. Bank statement, residence ID, bank statement which is also at least 6 months valid, or 6 months, the period is 6 months. Bank statement, residence ID, passport copy, my passport itself. So those are the things that are needed from my side, and then the papers and all the documents from the company. And then I applied to the Embassy of Hungary directly, not VFS, but directly to the Embassy of Hungary. And they collected my fingerprint, my all the data that were needed, and then I submitted all the documents, also my passport for the visa stamping. I paid it myself. That's it. And then I just waited. After almost a month, the result arrived, and then it's approved. So I received the result, and then after receiving the work permit, work visa, which is already in my passport, the sticker, then I arranged my flight going to Hungary, which took me also almost a month, because I need to render for my company. I also need to arrange a lot of stuff. I need to sell all my things in Kuwait. I needed to buy my own ticket as well. I need to arrange with the agency what is the day that I can arrive in Kuwait, so arrive in Hungary rather, so the person who will pick me up and all these arrangements, okay? So that was August 20. It was even holiday here in Hungary, so that was very challenging day. It was a like Hungary National Day, so it was complete holiday. They were thinking how to arrange pickup for me, but that's the only time for me. Yeah. In that season, that's the only day I can really go. And I booked my ticket. I paid for my own ticket. The total payment that I've actually paid for the whole process, I could say, the payment that I gave to the agency, the visa application, the ticket from Kuwait to Hungary, everything, it's almost equivalent to 5,000 euro. So take note of that. Are you willing to spend that much in order for you to relocate, or you will use that money for some other reason? So that's one thing that you should actually consider as well, because like 5,000 euro is not also, it's not also a an amount that you will just spend freely, if ever, or especially if you are not earning that much, I could say. So you need to be very wise in handling your money. And then career development observation. So I would compare, of course, the Kuwait and Hungary when it comes to career development. Because if you are relocating based on career development, let's say you are already in the Middle East, okay? You are in your 20s, especially for the people who are in the Middle East right now, and you are still on your 20s, early 20s. I believe I believe that you should build your career first in the Middle East. Build strongly your career and your connections in the Middle East. Mm, I'm not going to say it is not wise to relocate right away in Europe, but career wise, if you actually want to relocate because of career, you are thinking that um, maybe career development, you are going to have a better career development in Europe than in Middle East. I believe that will not be the point. It will not be the case. Like for example, in my case, I'm in my mid 30s. So I could say that it was a right decision for me because I already built my career in the Middle East. Why? Okay? Why I'm saying that if you are relocating for career development, it's a little bit tricky because let's say mm, okay, this is how I will elaborate this. In Kuwait, especially for Asians, or let's say you are a Filipino, the competition in the market actually is not too much in comparison to the competition in Europe. I believe this is not only for Hungary. I believe this is the whole Europe itself. Why? In Kuwait or in the Middle East, I could say. In the Middle East, Filipinos are so privileged. I could say that Arab people will hire Filipinos quickly because first they like the work ethics of the Filipinos, they trust the Filipinos work ethics is already proven in the Middle East, and the reputation of Filipinos in the Middle East when it comes to work is already very established. And it's not only applicable in like dirty jobs, it's applicable in administration, in all fields, medical, hospitality, airline industry. They really prefer Filipinos, okay, even in schools, teachers and everything. So I can say that if you're a Filipino, or let's say you are an Asian, it's easier for you to build your career in the Middle East because Middle East will already give you the advantage. Everything is already handed to you like a silver spoon. So maybe I may get a backlash for saying this, but this is how I will explain it based on my own experience. If you fumble your career in the Middle East, it's on you. Really, it's on you. There were maybe a lot of things in yourself, in your life, in your situation that you should actually be really self-aware of, especially when it comes to career. You should learn a lot of things forcibly, especially if you're in the Middle East, because everything's handed over to you. You are more privileged in the Middle East. So it's better to build your career in the Middle East. And Arabs, not all of them actually are working in a sense because majority of them are the business owners. So majority of the workforce in the Middle East are expatriates. So you are having the advantage. Meanwhile, in Europe, Europeans work. Let's say for here in Hungary, Hungarians work, they work. So you are also in competition with the locals. You need to learn their language, you need to learn their culture, you need to learn the things, how you can navigate your life here. So when it comes to career, you need to think twice. But when you think about the bigger picture, you want to move freely. Let's say you want to travel around Europe, that could be one of your reasons. But when it comes to career development, I would advise to develop your career first in the Middle East. Don't fumble your career in the Middle East before moving to Europe. Never, never ever do that. Like, please upgrade yourself. If you need to do a lot of research, which are even actually here on YouTube, on how to develop yourself, how to develop your career, how to develop everything like that. If you need to do that to upgrade yourself, do it while you are still in the Middle East, instead of thinking that you can build your career here easily. That's what I can say. So, if you have any, I think that's it. If you have comments or anything, you can comment here and then maybe I can reply later in the future. So, thank you so much. And I guess that's it for my live today. Great day.